Out of the dusty and clustered urban settlements of Mzansi, townships are born, culture is born. We not raised by the invasions of 1652, laws of 1948, and the Act of 1950. Although we are systematic casualties, we remain steadfast and pregnant with ideas, visions, and the urge to exceed the wider gates that lead to destruction. It's 2023. Classified culture is born. We are delighted to serve you.
Classified. Ayivele sesicalile ke.
What's up, Mzansi?
Yeah, what's up? What's
I don't know what time is it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's time
sir.
for Classified Culture Podcast.
And we are back.
This is our second installment,
Yeah.
and we want to thank people so much for supporting us on our first show. We received some good numbers.
Yeah, and those got trouble, Baba.
What?
Guys, thank you so much for the love and support that you've been showing us, especially people who have subscribed, and people who have given us views. Right now, we're currently sitting at 333 views,
Yeah,
and I'm sitting at 76 subscribers for our first episode, guys. We're really, really proud of that.
yeah.
And we thank you so much. Keep
Mhm.
up the good work, guys. Like, you've done us proud,
Yeah.
and we've been pushing.
Mhm.
All wrong, big fish.
Now we have, and if at least subscribe because it will shoot this. So make sure that you go out there and subscribe because we do this for you guys. So thanks very much for supporting us. Though it has been amazing. Obviously with few challenges, teething problems as well, but generally, we thank you very much, guys, for your support.
No, me, I'm excited, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm very happy, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I saw from people I knew back then, they've subscribed.
yeah,
It's crazy. Like the love we're getting,
yeah,
I really appreciate it, guys. And you know what? You're gonna make us go there,
yeah,
and we're gonna keep on delivering the one. We're not gonna disappoint.
yeah,
We're not gonna do anything. Just we're gonna keep on delivering, guys. Like that's
yeah,
how crazy it is, right?
yeah. And then you can find us on all social media platforms. So go ahead, guys, and subscribe. Follow us, everywhere. Hashtag. And we love hearing from you guys. Your engagement, your critical engagement, we are encouraged, guys. Because this is all about the content that we can all relate to. So please do not be scared.
Yeah. Welcome. How are you, my brother?
Nah, I'm cool, man. Eh?
Are you sure?
Nah, I'm sure, dude.
New hairstyle.
Yo, dude.
Yeah,
Of course, against the advice of so many people, including family.
Yeah. Yeah, but it suits you, man. Suits you well.
Nah,
man.
thanks very much. That's why me that getting good memos.
Hey, Jesus. Yeah.
One toll.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
guys, I'd like to start off with just wanna give condolences to, cause let me say this, I do have a love and passion for photography. So one of the great photographers who recently just passed, Baba, or should I say Mr. Peter Makubani, condolences to the family, one of South Africa's great photographers. We'd just like to say, rest in peace, and you forever be a part of history of South Africa.
And in that spirit, we also want to say, condolences to Zahara, international, artist, South African. We love her very much. I think she was the first artist to break the record of Pendafas with that album Yaloli, which was a great album, which was produced under TS Records back in the days. And of course, recently we've just lost a playwright, a legend, director, songwriter, composer, Mr. Mbonyeningem.
Yeah.
Who was very instrumental in
Shout
bringing
out to them,
to
man.
us Sarafina. And obviously, we know that some of the legends that we have today that are gracing our screens, like your Lele Tukumalo, your Cindy Dlatu, your Semisi Mhlongo, they come from that foundations
Yeah,
from Mbonyeningem.
yeah, Baba. Yeah.
Doja Cat's father as well.
Who?
Doja Cat's father.
Man.
Tumsami Dlamini.
Bruh.
Well, he also comes from that foundation. In
Ah.
fact, I think he was one of the speakers at his funeral. So yeah, rest in peace, Mr. Ngema. Dude, South Africa has lost. South Africa is losing a lot of legends, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that that is inevitable, and it's just something we have to deal with. Unfortunately, no one plans to, have a funeral, but when it happens, it happens. We just have to.
Yeah. So dude, like before we're going to pick up, the townships, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something Okay, first of all, how was your December?
Oh, my
Just give us a
December,
wrap up of your
my
December.
December, bro. I don't
Yeah.
want to say, bro. My December though was fantastic. You know, my December was wow. It was it was wilding. You know, in a nice sense. I don't mean partying and clubbing and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Not that there's anything wrong with clubbing
nah,
or
nah,
partying
nah.
for that
Nah, I'm
matter.
just saying. I get
Yeah.
what so let me
Yeah.
answer, bro. You
Yeah.
know, calm down.
No, I'm done. I'm just saying that there's nothing wrong with partying.
Ah, it's fine, bro. My December is nice.
Yeah.
You know, I was pushing Batswadi vibes. You know, so yeah.
I wonder what's that.
Batswadi, bro. You know, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was nice, you know, spend time with family, you know. Yeah, I managed to, you know, kind of like I had this I would say passage that I went through, you know, and to see now today it's only H2O, you know. So yeah, kind of like yeah, a lot happened in
We'll
a
see how
nice
long it
way.
will last.
Nah, I don't care,
We've
bro.
heard the stories
I
many
don't
times.
care. I don't
The
care.
more things change, the more they remain the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nonetheless, yours.
No, it was good, man. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
We traveled, with family together,
Mm-hmm.
with my aunts, my nephews, children, my wife.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was such an amazing, experience.
Mm-hmm.
But what caught my eyes during December and recently is all the things that have been happening, dude. And then we spoke about, the loss of our legends. But something that caught me by surprise was that thing of Lyle Foster. You know Lyle Foster?
Ah, man. Big fish, man. Hey.
Oh, the thing is, I'm thinking about it right now. By the way, Lyle Foster is from what is that place there after Orlando? After Orlando.
Not Khasser.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he played for Orlando Pirates, at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and then he played for some academy, right? And at the moment he's playing for Birmingham, right?
No, not Birmingham. Burnley.
Burnley, okay. So that guy released a statement. I think that club released a statement that because of mental health problems,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
cannot participate, etc. It's a good player because he's been scoring a lot for them as well as Bafana, right? And recently, he came back, and he scored playing for Burnley, right?
Yeah.
But now he is refusing to play for Bafana.
As I said, I don't think he's refusing. The club is. I mean, it happens a lot to African players, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not the first time it happens. I think these English Premier League clubs are not allowing African players to go and participate in AFCON, but yet they know when they sign them that they were African, and obviously they know AFCON plays right now in January.
But
So
then,
it's for people to say that. I mean, for me, I feel like he wants to participate and represent South Africa, you know. But the club, of course, is under contractual
but they're holding him against
obligations.
his will. Doesn't he have
Yes,
like the liberty to make his own decisions? I mean, what
he's
happens
under
to
contract.
what happens to Pat? No, you cannot say he's under contract because Afcon is on the FIFA calendar,
Yeah, and they're not.
and then FIFA is like the highest body of football in the whole entire world.
Yeah, but they're not acknowledging that.
So they are not acknowledging
The English
Afcon.
Premier League is not acknowledging that.
But then isn't the English Premier League under FIFA as well, under FIFA rules,
Yeah, but
under the
remember,
same calendar, rules, regulations, etc.
Big Fish. Let's move on. That we're football, man. Hey.
Yeah, no, it's just an interesting thing, dude. Like that I
Nah,
observed,
let's
and
let people discuss that on Twitter and stuff. I mean,
yeah, no, but it's a serious thing, dude, because what happens then to patriotism? You know what I mean? I'm questioning those things because they're not holding him against his will. He can make his own decisions by himself. By the way, it's one of these interesting things that I observed, and it will be interesting leading up to the AFCON to see what's going to happen. But of course, we've had the same thing happening previously to players like Benny McCarthy, Quentin Fortune, and Dalwan Battle, and now it's Lyle Foster.
nah. Okay, it's fine. Let's move on. Hey, football news is very, very broad, and you know everybody has their own thing and whatever. Yeah, let's give shout outs to townships, guys. You start.
Kagiso, Seshego,
Carltonville, King Kasie. Now I'm forgetting these
Riley
townships.
Shiwe, what's up, Northern Cape?
Togoza, Kukuletu, you know, what's that place again?
Anything.
I always forget the township, you know.
Yo, Garankua, what's up? Garankua ko Pitori, ne?
Yeah, it could be true. Yeah. Someone did comment on that. Okay, shout out to Everton. I saw someone commented on
Everton.
yeah.
Yeah, no, shout out to Everton. Shout out to Sibukeng Orange Farm.
David Tell and
Val, we love you guys.
Van der
Ne?
Bay,
And thank you very much for your support.
yeah. Deep Sloot,
Tutuza.
Didingata, So shout out guys, every township out there. We love you. Keep on watching. Yeah, that's it.
No, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. So we got a very interesting topic, for today.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
then we're talking about, black business people, right? And the reason that we're doing that is because, as you know, what our podcast is all about. It's about finding, solutions about the political and social political things
Informing
that affect us as a society.
Yes, sir.
Right? And then we want to establish, those people, how do they make it, and if they've got a role to play within our society. But before we do that, we want to take it back a little bit, because in South Africa, we know that there was a system of institutionalized, segregation, right?
Yeah, we're all aware of that.
It's called apartheid, which was passed into law in 1948.
Mm-hmm.
That system basically, gave very few rights, if any, to black people in particular and Africans in general.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of social, economic and political, privilege.
Yeah.
They were given exclusively to the white minority, literally controlling everything. It was just that system that allowed white people just to take over and have all the privileges.
Yeah.
So there was the law which was passed in 1950, which was the Group Areas Act. So it's up until the 1950s, people of different races were living together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And diverse areas were put in to an end through that act of 1950, which was called the Group Areas Act, which removed black people, Indians, and colors from places like District 6 in Cape Town, as well as Sophiatown and all the other places, right?
Mm-hmm.
Into townships like Soweto, Eldorado Park, and all that and all.
Yeah.
And by then, black people are not allowed, to own land. They're not allowed to own properties or any manufacturing businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Until so, against that difficult times, there were people that made it, right? And we want to talk about those people that were able to triumph, against adversity.
Okay, so the topic is what? Can you share?
No, the topic is we're discussing black business people and the impact, that they can play within our society in advancing, that call whereby we're trying to change, the social and political, factors that affect us. And we know all of them, entrepreneurship, we're talking about unemployment, we're talking about drugs and all of those things. And we're trying to establish, right? Because we want to talk about, them, because in comparison to other nations, dude, or other races for that matter, we just want to establish if are they doing enough? Are they supposed to be doing enough? Are we expecting too much from them? Are they supposed to give back through their resources, through their knowledge, back into our communities in the light of what we're experiencing as a nation at the moment?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is very important, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. And what one such person that I would like us to speak about is Mr. Shikwani, right? Mr. Shikwani was one of those first, black people to open a manufacturing company which dealt with leather. That was in Orlando.
Yeah.
And obviously because of the forced removals, those businesses was closed down, and then he had to move to places like Seshego, because Soweto back then, as a black person, you were not allowed, to own anything until. So big up, to him, because even post apartheid, he was still standing, and then he died unfortunately in 2006. I think it was in a car crash. But I wonder how did that person, may make it, through the difficult, time to attain, the skills to be able to own land. Those are the things that we want to explore with this podcast.
Yeah, Big Fish that dog. I mean, the podcast is all about that, Belly, and I like how you just put it, and giving the background and, letting people know. I want to discuss someone that, is a black entrepreneur, since way back during those times, apartheid. And someone who's very, very familiar. I'm sure Soweto probably the whole of South Africa. And that is Mr. Richard Maponya, Yeah, he's one of the, a few, I think, black entrepreneurs. So they actually were pushing during that time,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like how he never took his circumstances or the struggle had to put him down, but he had to push, and yeah, man. I mean, that guy, man, he just like
Yeah.
Do you remember when I think that time we discussed the thing of show of the podcast,
Yeah.
but you telling me I didn't know that myself about a dairy product.
Yeah. That was one of his first business.
I think it was in 1952.
Yeah, around the 1950s. You're probably right. Around 1952.
Yeah, it was
right?
1952.
But some people, might be interested to know that Richard Maponya is actually a teacher by profession.
Yeah.
And contrary to popular belief, he was actually not born go Soweto.
Yeah.
He was born go Limpopo.
Limpopo.
Yeah, but then obviously moved to Soweto because like Soweto was like, especially Kodubi, it was that elite black people of that time. I think they were staying Kodubi because Mandela before a mover, ayagala ko London na ploma Kodubi.
Yeah.
And so are many other people that we know.
Yeah, I think he became like an associate with Mandela.
Yes,
I think around the 70s.
Oliver Tambo as well.
And Oliver Tambo as well. Yeah.
Back before even the Rivonia trial.
Yeah, and the thing that I think that set him apart was that he wanted to uplift, Soweto, and during that time, obviously, Soweto was under a lot of segregation, especially with tribes as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that thing nearly Dube hygienic there.
Absolutely. And then he hired people to actually deliver those products.
Yeah, because
using a bicycle.
Because of the lack of refrigerators.
Yeah, and then he started with second-hand clothing.
Second-hand clothing as well.
Yeah, especially like in mines, around those times, whereby mining was like a big thing because South Africa's economy is centered around mining, which was allegedly discovered in 1886, which I disagree with that.
I don't believe that.
Dude, are you telling me that the whole time that black people were here, they never knew that
like South Africa was rich from like way back, man?
Yeah.
I also don't believe that.
Yeah. So thanks very much, Tebo. Do you know that Maponya and Felicia Mabuza, they actually, are from the same street that go to Vera?
Yeah, the same street. Yeah, I know that.
And then like you always like walk past that, road, often.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me go buy food.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually you told me about
And a lot of people, they know Maponya because of Maponya Mall.
Yeah, but do you know he already like that land that Maponya is built on? I think he had like 100 years lease.
Absolutely.
But then of course after 94, I think things started to, especially because he was associated with
Mandela, politically aligned.
Yeah.
But I think like during that time, you were kind of like, when you were like a game changer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
An innovative person, you were kind of like forced, to affiliate with politicians because otherwise, how would you, fight?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
For your thing to be out there. I mean, Maponya is not a politician, he's a business person. But in order for a black person, when we were disenfranchised,
True.
in order for you, to be able to own property, to be able to operate, you needed to align to certain,
and affiliate with
and
politicians.
affiliate with certain people so that, dude, you can be able to operate.
Especially because of where the same people
So people
of
need to understand that.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think by the time he got to build a mall, Maponya Mall, I think it was around 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very exciting time for Soweto.
No, it was. And I think it was exciting because I remember, dude, all of us in Southgate.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then
every Soweto knows that.
Yeah, and then there
No
was
doubt.
But before Maponya Mall, there was like Jabulani Mall, there was Protea Gardens Mall. We'll speak about the owner later on.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna touch on him.
Yeah, and then there's Hemen Mashal. Yeah, the
that top like me.
Yeah, who's the leader of Action SA.
Yeah.
He's the founder of the hair product called, Black Like Me.
Black Like Me.
Yeah, it's one of those people that were able to make it.
Is it still there, like in the shelves?
I'm not sure, dude. But the last time,
maybe our lady viewers can tell us, like,
I'm not sure, dude. Like, I've never,
because I've never seen a male product, especially with hair.
Yeah, no, I've never. But I know he's an entrepreneur. I would like to believe that he's a millionaire. He's from Pretoria.
Yeah, from Pretoria.
And now he's a politician.
Yeah, I think, but he was always like into politics.
Really?
Yeah, he was always into politics.
Even before joining DA and Action
Yeah.
SA subsequently.
Yeah. If you look at his political history, like he's always been like into politics,
Yeah.
He's always been active in that role.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Just to touch on that, because of the business ventures that that's a black like me. But I doubt it's still selling. I don't know. I'm not yet sure that fact if it's still
Definitely Action SA is selling more than Black Like Me. If it still exists.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then too, there's a story that you told us about Black Like Me.
Oh,
That it is very much familiar to you because
this guy.
your sister used to own like a saloon back in the
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
And
I
then that's why
remember.
it's a Black Like Me.
Yeah, I remember my sister used to have
On
a
your hair.
salute. No, not on my hair. Mine's beautiful, bro. I've got beautiful hair, bro.
On hair. No, well, what are you saying? Black Like Me makes hair beautiful, isn't it?
Nah.
So there we
No.
go, free advertisement. It
No,
works.
I'm just saying, like my first encounter with black.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was Herman's
Yeah.
a product.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember when I was young, like my sister used to obviously have a hair salon back home, so
Yeah.
I used to see those products and like I think it was it had like purple containers,
Yes.
maroon, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my memory of black like me.
Yeah. So shout out to Herman Mashaba. I'm not sure if it will make a great politician, but apparently he was a
He's doing well though.
As it is, it's gaining momentum, especially in Gauteng, right?
Yeah, I think at the time when he was the mayor.
Oh yeah, he did well.
Yeah,
Thanks
he
to the
did
EFF.
well. Yeah,
Because he was working with them, and then
the coalition.
and he got fired because he was working with the EFF.
Yeah, I mean, shit happens, bro. Politicians.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever guaranteed.
Dude, let's talk about the Motsepe family.
Oh,
but
yeah,
specifically, Patrice Motsepe, who is a lawyer, by profession, who has worked for one of the top 5 leading law firms, and then is also the chairperson and the founder of African Rainbow, which has interest in mining and recently technology, and then we also know that he has a foundation which has sponsored a lot of initiatives within our society. A great businessman, I could say.
He was, man. I mean, I think he got that entrepreneurial spirit from his dad, right?
Yeah.
Because he's Tswana.
He's Tswana. Yeah, he's actually from the royal family because the father was a chief.
Yes, the father was a chief, and he had
an entrepreneur as well.
Plaza shops.
Yes, absolutely. Shopping centers.
Yeah. So I think that's where he got his business acumen and just navigating, and obviously like to be where he is today. I mean,
he has worked very hard.
Yeah, he worked very hard. And
yeah.
Konje,
but do you think if it wasn't of privilege, because he was privileged, right? If your father was a chief and then he owned land and access to land, so do you think privilege also played a part?
In a sense, it
to
did.
The entire Motsepe family. No disrespect to the hard work that they've put for them to be where they are. Certainly, they have worked hard.
Well, no,
what do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it was privileged, granted, but obviously during that time, I think he had to pull some strings, Leona, out of his own willingness and his determination to push what he wanted to do. What's that mining company that he
is it like African Rainbow Minerals?
Yeah, that one.
I think it's there by Northwest Rustenburg, if I'm not mistaken. And perhaps in other places as well.
Yeah, but dog, that guy, I mean, he sits on a lot of boards of many companies.
Absolutely.
And he's a chairman, I think, of the Honored Rainbow.
Yes.
As well as King Harmony.
Yes. And is it Harmony Gold?
Harmony Gold, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, these guys, man, I think.
And apparently, he also has shares Rain, Discovery Bank, I hope I'm not lying.
Yeah, I'm saying he's sitting on a lot of boards. Like, he's someone, I think, who epitomizes, like, I don't know, the father of South Africa in terms of
entrepreneurship.
A black man.
Success, Because he's not a millionaire, he's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire. And right now he's the president of CAF.
Yes.
Yeah, I better win us that.
Shout out to Mamphele Sundowns ladies who've won the continental competition.
Yeah. Shout
recently,
out to that.
as well as Mamphele Sundowns. So clearly there's something there.
Yeah, but we are cooking, bro.
Yeah,
cooking.
And contrary to popular belief, Patrice Motsepe was actually born Orlando East.
Yeah.
right? I know that there's a perception out there that he's probably from, Northwest or Pretoria,
Yeah.
but the guy, in fact, even, the sister who is Cyril Ramaphosa's wife, Dr. Tshepo Motsepe, they were born in Orlando East.
Go fan.
Yeah, they were. And then there was even like some, family drama regarding that house. But we don't want to talk about those things.
I do what I want to say. But yeah, Kasi Vele, it's like that,
Yeah,
There's always
a
family
drama. And
drama.
like, have you seen like those houses whereby Molibo Timba is not for sale?
Yeah, not for sale. I've seen it. Because people,
Shout out to Pir.
yeah.
Nah, I'm kidding.
Oh, big fish. Kolebe.
Dude,
Omanama.
how much it is? Dude, let's speak about the founder of Masingita Group,
Ah,
um
the
Mike Nkuna.
Mike Nkuna.
Yeah,
That's where we said Rotloboka, Bochabulani Mall,
yeah, he's into construction.
That guy is fucking brilliant, bro. Like he's brilliant, he's one of the property moguls in South Africa that a lot of people don't even know about.
Yeah. Most people they don't know about.
They don't know about that guy, man. I think he owns about like
So many.
10 shopping centers. Like,
if you know Chabulani Mall, if you know Protea Gardens Mall, goes away too.
bruh.
And then there's I'm not sure, but I think even Dobsonville Mall.
Not sure about that.
Yeah.
But like in terms of what he did
and even outside Soweto.
yeah, that's what I'm
he
saying.
owns a lot of properties.
What he did in the property space, like it's ridiculous, and a lot of people don't know about that.
What people don't know about him as well is that he has shares with Kaizer Chiefs.
Kaizer Chiefs.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's one of the owners, guys. I'm not sure if you guys own that, but obviously you're welcome to go and research and pay me.
Pay you.
Yeah.
Baba, this is your job, Baba.
Yeah.
This is your job.
And
So
then
what I want to say about that guy, man, I really, really like appreciate what he's like doing, in terms of, because a lot of black people, especially in business, when it comes to property, like we fail dismal,
do you think that it's a question of us failing, or it's a question of us having limited access to
look at his
the
background,
land,
please.
or owing to historical
Look at his
factors?
background. Look at his background. Look
Yeah.
at where he started, man.
Yeah.
Man gonna do like he started from very humble beginnings,
Yeah. Well, I'd be worried if it not start from humble beginnings.
You'd be worried.
Considering our history, everyone started from humble beginnings. If you didn't,
Oh damn it.
we call Winnie Mandela.
Yeah, but man gonna talk, like, shout out to him, and
Yeah,
I think if he's
we-
watching
yeah.
here,
Thank you. We're so
we
proud
give
of
you
him.
shout out to you, man. What you did, it's fucking amazing, man.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
He's an
though.
old guy, dude. Like,
I
why would you
know,
wanna-
bro. I mean, so what, bro?
Okay. All right. Let's talk about Robert Gumed, who's the owner of Gijima Technologies, which is an ICT, company. Also doing well. I think, if I'm not mistaken, is from Mpumalanga.
Mpumalanga province.
Yeah. So if you know Gijima, it is owned by Robert Gumed. Obviously, he has other interests, in business, but known for that ICT company. So Robert Gumed, a shout out to you, doing us very proud.
Yeah, Robert Gumetele and do that. I think all these people, Baba Profilangi, it's people. I feel like they fought the barriers of apartheid.
Absolutely.
They fought the barriers, segregation in terms of and accessibility of black people being in business.
Absolutely.
I commend them for that. I really do. And to a certain extent, like I wish right now in our current generation, we could have people that could learn from these guys, man.
Yeah.
And just to pick up what they did.
Absolutely.
Take from not necessarily what they like actually did, but to pick up on the foundation that they built.
That they built, yeah.
Yeah, and because it's amazing, dude.
I think that's why we have this podcast, to be able to
and
profile these people.
We're here to inform.
Yeah, educate.
Exactly.
Yeah, what I mean.
I like that.
Yeah. Then there's Godfrey Moloi.
Godfrey Moloi.
Yeah, so if you look also, you know the Godfrey Moloi Goodwill games that we're playing at the 16 every December.
Yeah.
Which has produced a lot of stars. In fact, like a quarter of the PSL players of that time, they were discovered from those games. And then Godfrey Moloi was known as a bootlegger, a shipping king.
Yeah.
He owned, a couple of stores, Kosovo, nightclub. I think it's the first nightclub of its kind Ko Mapele.
Mapele.
That's where I come from, dude. I'm so proud.
No.
Yeah. He had good
No.
family, good games. I mean, like, Steve Likuli, Thabo Mooki.
Spio
They,
Shabalala.
yeah, dude, they played there, dude.
Mm.
And some of the stars were actually discovered from those tournaments. And I mean, so he was a businessman, back in the 1970s, going to the 1980s and then 1990s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So big ups to that good film. And one thing about good film, his house name you mentioned Land. Do you know that Isibaya, the series
Yeah,
was actually
Influence
caught from
Magic.
there?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably think, okay, someone else is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Let's speak about the first citizen of the country.
the first citizen of the
Yeah. Utako Shawela, Kintate Cyril Ramaphosa.
Yeah.
I think he's the first person to bring the McDonald's
Burgers.
franchise
Mr. Burgers.
Go SA. And then obviously now Ramtseba go kenya tšhelete mo matraseng.
Hey, hey, when you? Yeah, no.
Alleged, but it's what we read. But yeah, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, we're going to edit that by the way. Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa is from Shawela Go. Soweto is the founder of the McDonald's franchise. His other business, interest elsewhere.
Yeah.
Property, kettles, investments, etc. And it's
what are those kettles called? Because I hear that they're very expensive.
Yeah.
Those ones with like long horns, isn't it?
Yes.
And he has like, a lot of them.
Yeah, and they were subject to an investigation last year in Parliament. South African, revenue services, SARS, as well as other institutions which were mandated, to investigate that. And the Chapter 9 institutions, such as the Public Protector, obviously they cleared Mr. Ramaphosa of all the allegations. So yeah, and at some point he wanted, to resign apparently, and then he was convinced not to resign by Mantashe, who is the chairman of African National Congress.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, like briefly, those are the guys that we are discussing.
Okay.
That have done pretty well, but we're not gonna be that
Let's. I just want us to okay. You said guys, and actually men. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Now I want us to not forget other women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not be in one side.
Yeah. No. Obviously, we speak about women.
Yeah. I want us to touch on it now.
Patriarchy is very dangerous, dude. We're not gonna talk about.
Why do you say patriarchy is dangerous?
No, it's dangerous because we cannot center, everything on men.
Is it dangerous, really?
Well, according to me, it is. Some people, might motivate that it's not a very, traditional, people conventional.
Didn't you grow up in a patriarchal household?
I did not. In fact, I grew up in a household where that did not have men.
No, okay.
I was raised by women, dude. Like many women,
I think there are pros and cons to patriarchy, So
yeah,
the pros and cons.
So you believe in it? Do you believe that women have a role to play in society?
Of course they do.
Yeah, and do you believe that women can be leaders?
That one. I choose not to answer.
For me, it's not a question of whether I believe women can lead, or not, because I think.
Okay, let me put it this way, because I feel like women can lead,
yeah,
but I feel like by leader ka emotion, rather than like logic, as men do.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine if we had a female president and with all these GPVs, he'd probably say, let's chop these things off,
Probably not. Because a lot of countries that still have a death sentence, as their laws, etc.
Yeah.
They're run by men, and they put those laws there.
Yeah, but
and I think the point that I was trying to illustrate, earlier, was that for me it's not a matter of whether I believe women are good or can be leaders. I think women have demonstrated that they can be good leaders. And one of those women that I look up to who has done, immensely well.
Wait. Let me clear the out.
No.
Before you get go that woman.
Yeah.
I'm not saying her and please hear me out. Don't come and bash me and tell me the way that I'm so misogynistic
you are
or whatnot. I'm not saying women can lead. I just feel when they lead, it's mainly based on emotion rather than logic. And I'm not saying they're not logical too.
Yeah.
But they tend to. The first thing that they go to is emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, for me, the women that I wanted to mention, who I think, led, the country very well.
Yeah.
And she's one of the reasons why we are here today. She's one of the reasons why we know the name of Mandela and other political leaders.
Mm.
It's Winnie Mandela. If it wasn't of that woman,
Oh
I
man.
doubt that we would have been where we are. I
Man.
doubt that, she suffered a lot, dude. You know what I mean?
That woman, dog.
Yeah,
Oh.
she kept the ANC name alive, the husband's, name, alive, obviously, under very difficult circumstances, even detrimental, to her well-being and that, of her children. So I think this is one of those women that did well. But there's other women that did well in business, of which we're going to discuss today, like the likes of Wendy Luhab.
Wendy Lohab.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Wendy Lohab, dude. She was phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
The way that she got into
Yeah.
what she's doing right now.
Yeah.
And compared to Lumwatwang, dude, I mean,
Davidton, shout out to Davidton. She's from
yeah,
Davidton.
yeah, she's from Davidton.
Yeah.
And, like those humble beginnings. Like I always say, when you say you'd be surprised
Mm.
if Batswanza not from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like the basis a lot of this woman has come from, and
Yeah.
the way she established herself,
Yeah.
it's very like fantastic.
Yeah, and she's into consulting. She's an academic, and she's
Kanti,
also the wife of Bazima Shilu.
Evan,
Yeah, dude.
what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, that's our floor manager, guys. AKA director, AKA
Yeah.
wine drinker, AKA everything. Shout out to Sydney.
What is there?
I wonder why. Just we were speaking about Wendulo Harbour, dude. We ain't coping here.
Hmm?
We didn't catch that drift. Anyway, so she's also the wife of Mbazima Shilu.
Oh damn! Okay, I got it. I got it.
As you know,
Oh, she was formerly married, or is she still married? Coco?
they're still married. They've got 4 children.
Oh.
Yeah, they're still married.
Mm.
Yeah, like certain women, when they become successful and known, they don't change their surnames.
Yeah.
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 They want to maintain their own identity, and I think it's good, dude. Because often when yeah, dude, I think
says you,
dude, the name of Winnie Mandela got swallowed up by Nelson Mandela, dude. We even forgot that she's a leader on her own right. So I think it's good for women to actually maintain and keep their surnames, dude, especially if they have done very well to change the status quo
look
in
who's
our society.
talking.
Yeah.
Look who's talking. Would you have allowed your wife to use her surname?
Hell no.
Exactly. Stop saying what you don't, when you wouldn't do yourself.
Yeah, but
No.
then my wife has a liberty to do as she wishes. She's an independent person. She has.
Would you allow it though?
Obviously, I wouldn't agree to it. But if she insists, there's nothing that I can do. I cannot force her to it. Yeah.
I know, I understand it though. I mean, for King, when do you have any?
Yeah, dude.
She for me, like, she epitomizes again a strong character of a woman. That she's very well educated, and she's been recognized in various universities across the country, for her work,
Yeah.
And yeah, for me, she's one of the Mbogoto. It's already thing that.
Yeah, and then one of her first businesses was a consulting
Consulting one.
whereby she was preparing young, black, men and women.
Men and women, yeah.
To enter, formal employment, and obviously assisting, those companies, to be able to accommodate them. Especially, in the light of, the status of South African politics, of that time. So shout out to May Wendy Luhabe. We are proud of you. And another, lady, Bogoto, that we are proud of, that we want to profile, is Judy Lamin.
Ah, that's one, bro. I think is she still the chancellor?
Yeah, Vits.
Yeah,
Yeah. She's a medical doctor by profession.
Yeah, she is.
And a businessman. She's an author.
But you know the difference that I'm picking up from the men and women so far that I'm picking up is the women are kind of like more educated.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Oh, what did Hyman Mashab? Badile.
I could do I thought politics and whatnot.
I doubt. If anything, because now when a black like me, I would think along the lines of engineering.
You think so?
Yeah, because like to make something to tuna like the hair product, surely something engineering involved in that.
I could see, but all I'm saying,
Because product high, it was exclusively made from Riria Road.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly there must be like some type of engineering there. Well, I think he studied engineering. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. We
yeah,
did not go that far with our research.
no, it's fine. I think
Yeah.
we're just profiling and obviously when we get to conclude,
Yeah.
I think it will make sense.
And then Judy Dlamini is actually the wife of Sizwe Ngasan,
She's in my son,
who
and
is an accountant, is the former chairperson of NEFSAS. And currently, together with the wife, they are the founders of Future Nation School, which is like a private
failing
school.
in TT and as far as
Very expensive school. Good school, very expensive. Future Nation.
Oh, Future Nations. Yeah.
Ya sharp mfana.
Oh, it was your card.
Like what of and I'm like, guys, can I afford? Good school, dude. Like, I mean, they're focusing on fourth industrial revolution, robotics, artificial intelligence. It's a good school because we went there, for their open day. Then we attended their teams, orientation. It's a good school. It has facilities, everything, dude. It's a good school. It's just expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Your average black South Africans won't be able to afford that school.
Yeah, but I think when you mention, I mean, talked about Ofarang, it kind of makes sense.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
If you're gonna pay that much, you want your child to be equipped with such.
It's worth it because they need to maintain the infrastructure.
Yeah.
They need to pay teachers. So it's worth it.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to expand more on Judy Dlamini, I mean, Leona, she's Kimbogoto, man. I mean, not Kimbogoto, I mean,
we know.
What do you mean?
No, we know.
What do you mean?
I know.
What do you know?
No, Rata Dimbogoto, Rata Basadi, ba successful.
Oh.
Ba successful. That have made it, dude. Like you are that guy that stands.
But my Bogoto of all time, Mamwin, because I was studying work. I wanted to mention that, that woman for me.
Something that we agree on. There's a lot of things that we disagree on.
Oh, of course.
And then Zanelembek.
Zanelembek is the wife of former president,
Thabo Mbeki.
Mr. Thabo Mbeki.
Yeah, it's various business interests as well.
African.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of the people that we have profiled today, some of them, in fact, majority of them, they wouldn't be able to have achieved this if it wasn't of the BEE.
The Black Economic Empowerment.
Thanks to Thabo Mbeki.
Thabo Mbeki.
Yep.
You think he played a huge role in that happening for Black people?
Certainly did, because I think the role of Nelson Mandela as a president, it was more of stabilizing things politically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that we can all be a rainbow nation, we can reconcile. You know what I mean? Politically, I think the role of Thabo Mbeki was more of advancing, the economies, especially for Black people. Hence, the introduction of those laws like your BEE, legislation which empowered Black people to be able to meaningfully participate in the economic sector of South Africa.
No, man. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, and we won't talk about the ladies without mentioning Basetsana Kumalo.
Basetsana Kumalo.
Yeah, I think Basetsana
Kumalo.
Dude, I do. Hey,
I know.
Yeah, shout out Basi Kumalo. Please sponsor us.
Yeah. But then she's someone okay, she's not like Bogoto of the nation. No. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, now she was into the pageants, right? That's what made her like who she was.
Yes.
Of course, after that I know shit, but like but work about like there was Bogoto's and Bogoto.
But they all have to start somewhere. If you look at Judy Dlamini, if you look at Wendelo Habene, those people, they're academic. You know what I mean? They
Exactly.
before they're business people, they started by being academics.
Exactly.
First where they had to study. And if you look at
So
Zanele,
so what Basi came into the industry again?
she was a model.
Exactly. Pageants again.
Yeah,
That's
she
what
was a
I'm
model. But
saying.
then she turned, that into something.
True.
And it takes a special person to do that. Once you've got, the fame and then people know about you, dude, it's only a smart person who can turn that into a business.
Yeah, I think she had a good team railing behind her.
No, dude.
I
Surely you need to give her
swear.
props,
No,
dude.
I do, Mamela, I
She's the
do.
co-owner of Connect TV, if I'm not mistaken. Which
I
a sport.
know, but
Is,
for me,
is
she's
it Dr. Lani vibes?
not Dr. Lani. Look, she's doing well in a fraternity. Ne?
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
but
no, this is just me.
yeah,
I know you love her. Granted,
yeah.
I know you love her.
And
Like,
I love all of them, dude.
yeah, but for me, it's like for her work, like it's sharp. She made it well. She's connecting well.
You are entitled to your opinions, my friend.
Yeah, she's connecting well.
Yeah,
Not
so
not to that level.
that you expect.
Yeah,
Mbogoto.
according to my standards.
According to your standards.
Yeah.
According to my standards, Basetsana Komali really, really done well, especially in the media. In the media space, whereby we know most of the production companies, they were owned by white males, and one of the first a few black females to own a production company, and have her shows being commissioned on different platforms like multi-choice, SABC, and some of the shows that they have produced is Our Perfect Wedding, Date My Family, and then previously on SABC, I know they produced that magazine, luxury magazine program that used to play on SABC3,
Top billing.
Top Billing.
Yeah.
So those are the work of Connect TV. Maybe previously it was using another name, but the executive producer was Basetsana Kumalo.
Yeah, that's the only show I know
Yeah.
to be quite honest.
Yeah, she's done more shows.
Yeah, clearly my interest in it is not that much.
Yeah, and she's married to Romeo Kumalo. Romeo Kumalo is the former manager at SABC, the former station manager and programs manager of Metro FM. He is also the former director or something there called Vodacom SA until he resigned and then he opened his businesses.
That's interesting.
So a nice couple, they're doing well there.
Aye.
Yeah.
Ko mo tsuk batlang we kaya na no ke ke tla reng, okay, I'm just gonna say it, my childhood crush, but anyway, it's fine.
Who was a childhood?
Carol Power, bro.
Dude, how old were you?
Eh?
How old were you? Because Carol Power is definitely not 30 something. Like Carol Power, I think like only 50 something.
Yeah, I know.
So how old were you when you had that crush?
I think I was young, of course.
How young were you?
No. I don't want to say, but I was young, dude.
So like at the age of 4, you had a crush on Carol Power?
No, not 4. Big Fish, come on, bro. I mean, on the show, it's
Carol Power used to act for Generations in the 90s.
I know about that. I'm just saying, all right. I should probably.
She's the owner of CB Productions, which is Carol Power Productions, right? And then she previously used to host a show called Bars. It was a dating game show, one of the first to go SABC through her own company. And then before that, she was an actor for Generations, Bo Konifigasin, Bo Sofindaba, Bo Selomake Ngube, etc. Obviously, she went, and established CB Productions, and she has various interests, elsewhere. And then one thing about Carol Power that has been written about, is that she has an accent, and because of that accent, obviously she went to good schools. I'd like to believe that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, people, they don't actually believe that she's actually from a township and she's from Gosowit. Carol Power was actually born in Rockville.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, although familiar, maybe,
but
they later moved, but she's from Rockville. I think she just went to good schools somewhere called Durban or boarding schools, whatever.
Yeah.
Hence the first class English. Hence the English is not giving Dr. Lani vibes.
Not giving.
It's giving Big Fish vibes.
Hey, I almost said that name. Yes, definitely no. Yes, definitely no,
So
bro.
she has various, interests, and she's one of the women that so many women in the entertainment industry, they actually look up to her. Bo Bonang, Bo. You can name all of them, dude.
Yeah, but she's also
Yeah,
a child activist, like
yeah. I'm not sure
she's a
about that.
speaker. Yeah, she is.
An activist,
Yeah, yeah.
Carol Power.
Yeah,
Really?
bro. Yeah.
What has she done?
Like she's speaker like motivate abanye.
Yeah,
Yeah, she does a lot of work, like busy
yeah.
and quite frankly so because I think her influence is
Mm,
ultra.
yeah,
So a lot of young girls look up to her and kudos to her for doing that.
yeah. And then I don't think that we can speak about, the black businesswoman without speaking about Bridget Motsepe,
Ah, Bridget Motsepe.
the sister of Patrice Motsepe and the wife slash former wife, I'm not sure, of Jeff Radebe.
No, I think there's still more. And they
I don't think so. I think that they're just keeping it under wraps. Hey, I don't want to be sued, guys. Allegedly.
hey, that's
But
it. Remember
honestly, my opinion is my opinion. I don't think they're still married.
I don't know. I think they still are because I think it was she uses a double barrel surname.
Nah, that's she.
Yeah,
Because, like, we only knew her as Bridget Radebe. And later on, when people realized that she's the sister of Motsepe, then
yeah.
they started to attach that Motsepe surname.
Mm.
But I don't think she was using a double barrel.
You don't think so?
Nah, I don't think so. But I think now she's been called Bridget Motsepe. Hence, I think that they might have silently gone through a divorce with the former minister, the Jeff Radebe. But we don't want to talk about their personal life. An amazing woman, one of the first women, to have interest go mining.
Yeah.
A very intelligent woman.
Yeah, she pushed her way through
Yeah,
mining. She during like early 90s. Yeah, she's the first black woman really to kind of like do that one.
yeah.
And I think
She's
for
beautiful as well, eh?
yeah, I think
That
for
was not convincing.
exactly. So I think for a black woman
Yeah.
to venture into mining, it was unheard of.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
She was a game changer, man.
she broke the barriers, and
Yeah.
yeah, she's a phenomenal
She's a
woman.
disruptor of the
I think
status
I think
quo.
it runs in the family,
It does, certainly does run in the family because
especially
most of those Motsepe, family members, they've actually done well.
especially with mining, right?
Yeah, mining, they've done well, guys.
Yeah,
And one thing that I love about them is the fact that they're actually educated.
yeah. I think better when you into mining. I don't think you can just okay and I feel no. You need to have some sort of like educational background and in order to understand,
Yes,
because remember you are entering a field where it's like white dominated.
yes.
So for a black person,
You
I'm
almost have
sure.
to work double
Yeah,
as much,
I'm sure it was so
than
tough
your
for her.
counterparts. Yeah,
I'm sure it was so tough for her to even like, get into to mining.
yeah.
So she had to equip herself with the necessary knowledge
And skills,
and
yeah.
skills in order to be where she is today.
And she has done, very well. We're so proud of you. And then we know that, like Patrice Motsepe, like Tsepo, you're also from the, township. And then you have inspired a lot of, young black business people. And
Exactly.
now they know that it's possible. You have empowered a lot. And then we know that. And hence, we are profiling you guys today. And one such person that we cannot leave,
The
behind, like,
last and the last
especially
one.
when we are discussing that. I'm sure that there is a lot of business, black business people, whether female or male. But obviously, we cannot talk about everyone. So we just selected these few ones that you guys may know or may not know.
Yeah, the thing we select them we selected them based on
Yeah, where they come from,
where they come
their
from,
struggles. You know what I mean?
and also we'll be touching on the reasons why
Yeah.
actually as to why we picked
Yeah,
the people we spoke about.
yeah. So we cannot leave Mamphele behind.
Dr. Mamphele Rampela.
Excuse me, not the Dr. Lani vibes, guys.
Yeah.
Because like there's a rank
yeah,
Eddie
yeah,
Doctor, ne?
No, and I think she's a
At the highest, you've got those people that they got that title because of their academic performance. Like Bo Dr. Mamphele Rampele, you know what I mean? And then after that, you've got those ones that are honorary, like Bo Dr. Rebecca
I knew you were
Malute.
going there. I just knew you were going there.
It's a rank.
By the way, you sing like her when you sing.
Me.
Yeah, have you noticed?
Like Rebecca.
Yeah.
Then that means I'm a good singer. Because she can really sing.
You're giving Malinga vibes as well, you know.
And then, dude, like there's those honorary ones like both Dr. Lillian Dube.
Yeah.
And then we know this because now I didn't know, but then I found out like
Okay.
COVID or it's honorary, doctorates because I was expecting them to go to the hospital or not to visa and stuff. Nah, I'm kidding.
No. No, yeah, there are honorary
Then
doctors.
there's both Dr. Dumi. Obviously, we know that he's a doctor, by profession. And then at the lowest rank, we've got Dr. Paulo Jordan. Like, I cannot believe that you're going to speak got Dr. Paulo Jordan in the same sentence with Dr. Lan.
No, emanyani, man.
At the lowest. Because, there's an interview that I was watching for SABC, right?
Yeah.
And then previously, Dr. Paulo Jordan is intelligent. He's one of those legends that go ANC, that went to exile, that was educated,
He is a lot of...
until someone go ANC oh, as a doctor.
Hey, wait,
What
no.
mdiu?
Hey,
And then go follow we like, I'm
Like-
like Dr. Paulo Jordan. Oh,
whatever. Like for me, that is just so scary as to... It kind of makes me question accreditation. Yeah.
credibility.
Yes, and for someone who at Global Parliament for so many
Dude,
years,
that guy, I think, was a minister, well-respected academic,
bruh,
well-respected speaker, well-respected
it's
politician.
It's
And then
crazy.
because he was part of a certain faction, and then they exposed him. Or I want to university ileng ko yona.
Imagine. And Abuilele hore, I mean, he also spoke about Uile go King University that
Please don't say
state.
Oxford.
I'm not sure if it was Oxford or Harvard.
Oh, that museum.
I'm not pretty sure.
Yeah.
But it was one of those overseas like
Yeah, somewhere ko
prestigious,
London.
yeah,
or
prestigious universities.
aba mopia he.
Obviously.
Aba phone la bare ba feel. La mtseba Paulo Jordan balatola bare never. Arimtsibi oh.
Yeah,
That time was South Africa ke legend.
yeah, nah, but
So-
not to deviate so
Yeah,
much.
so like the most interesting thing was like when Sakina Gwamendo interviewed him
mm,
and then he went Mr. Paulo Jordan. I was like, yo, so for the better, half of your life, you are being called a doctor. And just like that, solely Mr.
nah, let's not deviate too
And then there's Dr. Lani, of course.
Nah.
Well, according to him, he's a doctor. He's the only one that believes that.
I don't want to delve in too much, Coco, but will deceive the whole nation, so
Anyway, so
let's talk about real doctors, Dr. Mamphele, one of South
Yeah.
Africa's, political icons, Leana. She's very well educated, very vested in politics,
I'm not sure if politics is her thing because we are former, Ahang party that had only one seat in parliament.
I remember.
And apparently that was because of the kiss
was
Helen Zille.
was it
That was the kiss of death.
was it the elections 2014, innit?
Was
Yeah,
it like
yeah, I think that's where it started.
And then they had a press conference Helen Zille whereby Helen Zille was trying to convince her to join DA, and that kiss of death is just the kiss of death.
As for the kiss of death.
Yeah, senior party go
Jesus.
And I was so surprised. So
Okay.
how can someone with the credentials, Mamphele, why South Africans are not voting for people like that? I mean, like, I think Mamphele had like a senior position there by World Bank. I mean, she's a doctor. She has, political, she's a business, woman. She's one of those few people that actually went back to the communities and then built a clinic. You know what I mean?
Don't you think
Using her influence, using her resources.
Don't you think the reason why she never got so much votes is because of when it's close to elections like the way it is this year, 2024, all these elections this year. Don't you think it was based on her she started a party like close to the elections?
Yeah,
And remember, a lot of people didn't know about her in
yeah,
terms of her political
identity
and
yeah,
basically her
whether or
How-
left or right or liberal.
how she came about.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, don't be. It's not that deep, dude.
It is.
You
Oh.
wanna work for SABC News? You are welcome. Moro toke na hanu. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's the reason why like she only got one vote, and
Yeah.
which was kind of a bit embarrassing, you know.
Yeah.
It was. I mean,
Yeah. Well, she's a successful, businesswoman. She was part of the Black consciousness movement. She was also entangled. Eish, I don't want to use the word entangled in the same sentence as Mamphele Rampel because I respect her so much. But she was okay. She's a baby mama. My baby mama doesn't. Guys, I'm
what?
searching for words, hey,
What?
to make it more dignified.
What?
But she has a child with Steve Biko.
Yeah, but why would you say a baby mama?
Look at baby mama because I think I'm nyal.
Wait, Loyana, but
Yeah.
I think she's old enough for me to have baby mama, do you know?
What baby Coco?
Yeah, probably a baby coco. I mean,
Yeah, so Dr. Mamphele Rampela, we respect her. I mean, she comes from the Black consciousness movement. And that's why I was surprised not to deviate when that entanglement, with DA to say, how can you move from Black consciousness movement to being almost right wing? I'm not saying that DA is right wing, but certainly, their political stances, are to the right.
do,
Maybe not extreme as FF plus,
do you perhaps think, or maybe it was out of like desperation?
but eventually she didn't join them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for that coalition to supposed to happen, don't you think it was mainly because of desperation to say, okay,
Mm,
probably if I match
mm,
with the DA, then
mm,
probably would make
mm.
votes a bit.
No, perhaps. I mean, I think they promised, her, a crucial, position in leadership there by the
Yeah.
DA. But after some, reflection, personal reflection, and where she has been, and because of her credentials, then she realized that she cannot be part, of the DA. At least that's what I think. But
Yeah, I
Mom
think.
certainly, we will not speak about, black, business people and academics without mentioning her name.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, she regretted that decision, as you say. Like yourself, that was the killer.
It was the
Like,
kiss of death.
yeah, like King when you it's like she kissed a serpent,
Ha!
and
That's
you know
extreme.
it struck her.
No, but don't you think it's extreme?
No, I think that's what happens.
A serpent.
Yeah, like
So no, we're not gonna do that.
what?
Wait, are you calling Helen Zille a serpent?
No, I didn't call anyone a serpent. I'm just saying she just kissed the
Well, she
serpent.
kissed Helen Zille. We know
Ah,
that. Why would you call
well,
Helen Zille is a former journalist. He was the one who was uncovering the killing of Steve Biko. She claims that she's a journalist who uncovered those gruesome stories during tough
yeah,
times
well,
and revealed them. Well, she has struggled credentials as well before being
well,
in DA. So
well.
surely we're not gonna reduce her to a serpent.
Now, clearly, man. For me saying that is because you know what happened to Mamphele. It wasn't nice, man. I didn't feel nice about
But
that
it has
happening.
nothing to do with Helen
Yeah, but it kind of like tarnished what she was trying to
reputation.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah, what she was trying to do with Akang Akang, right?
yeah, Ahang Part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had one seat go parliament, and that guy one seat
See,
one 10 hour. Mm,
a gang, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So re bua ka sports jwanong, ne?
Yeah, let's get into sports
Yeah.
and we're gonna profile. I
Co-
don't think we have a
and
lot of
consistent
people.
with what we've been discussing about the black business people, the game changers, that have made it within our societies, the people that have motivated us, when we were very hopeless, and when we thought that we could not achieve anything in life, when we were disenfranchised with everything going against us, right?
Mm,
And we can start with the chairman of Orlando Pirates and the second vice president of SAFA
mm-hmm,
and the chairman of PSL,
mm-hmm.
Dr. Ivan Kos.
Yeah, bro. Konje, what's his name again?
Einjuk.
Iron Juke, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Let me just
So, Dr. Ivan Kos, ne? Yo, mara jwala bona mara. Awa.
Wabona?
Um,
Gosh. What that say?
Dr. Ivan Koza is the chairman of Orlando Pirates. Dr. Ivan Koza has, various, business interests. Lemokasi, we know that only the shopping center star, you know,
Mhm.
and it's one of those people that are educated that people don't know about that. He's actually an educated administrator,
Yeah.
sports administrator, and he's done well, man.
Uh,
And
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 and yeah,
he's traveled the world also. I think that's something that people don't know about that, about him actually.
yeah.
Yeah, because he was in the US.
Mm.
Yeah, I think when he came back,
I didn't know about that.
yeah, he was
Oh,
in the
amazing.
US.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he came back, that's when like
Mm.
he had this vision of, Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah, it worked. I
And
mean,
and is one of the guys that brought the FIFA World Cup in 2010.
was he?
Obviously working with both Danny
Oh,
Jordan.
Sap.
Yeah, they were
Makes
part
sense.
of that committee, local organizing committee.
Yeah, makes sense. What's
And
up, bro?
subsequently, that's when they got those honorary doctorates for bringing the FIFA World Cup to South Africa. So big ups to them.
Yeah, but we cannot talk about Dr. Ivan
Mm.
without mentioning his counterpart, which is Kaiser Mtau.
Yeah, tell us about Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser is Lele. Although other people would say no. I don't fave Chiefs anyway.
Certainly not me.
Yeah, I don't fave Chiefs. But he's done a lot
Or favor
there,
Pirates.
obviously.
Okay. Obviously.
Yeah.
Tolpagane.
Very chill people,
Ha. Contrary to popular belief,
Yeah.
apparently Chiefs thola no xolo. Yeah, but
Cool,
okay,
cool.
let's hear about Kaiser Mtaung.
Yeah, Kaiser Mtaung, he was born Mokasile, and obviously started off with his football career, and he went on to States, and he from Atlo developer Kaiser Chiefs, right? He was working for, I think, what's some guy called West Ham.
And still talking about his stay with US, he was actually playing for New York, Cosmos.
New Cosmos.
And it is the same team that Joe Masono played for. It is also the same team that
Yeah,
Lee played for.
hence the names, like,
Yeah.
because even like Kaiser Chiefs, I think I was playing. I forgot the team's name, but it had Chiefs in it.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah,
100% correct.
yeah. So hence they came back and picked up that
The name.
the name. So
Yeah.
obviously he used his name,
Sydney.
Kaiser.
Not today. Thank you.
What I don't think.
No, let's continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So the name came about there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a very influential guy, and I know.
Yeah.
In terms of what he did for the sporting fraternity in South Africa, and owns one of the biggest clubs, right now.
With more trophies than anyone.
Yeah, but hey, another team is coming.
Obviously, they've been having challenges because the last time that they won a cup, but we're not there.
Yeah, we're
We
not
were just
there. Hey,
discussing
Batro,
him
hey,
as someone who's influential within
Yes,
our
Dean.
societies, as someone who has done well. And we look up to the guys like Kaiser Mtaung. He's actually from Pefeni.
It's Pefeni.
Yeah, he's actually from Pefeni because he played for Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, I know that he played for
before
them.
he went, overseas. Obviously, coming back, and then he formed Kaiser Chiefs. But not
Now
only
it's a
that,
family
we also
business.
know that, according to the firstborn, Kima, when you just support our guys, a family business.
Bobby.
You cannot pass China.
What's that name?
Jessica.
Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica Mtaung.
Yeah.
Beautiful lady.
Mm.
She used to enter pageants when I was young. And then I
Mm.
think at some point she must miss something, but anyway, we're not there. Still on Kaiser Chiefs. Kaiser Mtaung. So Kaiser Mtaung has apparently, I think he had shares for Prime Media. Because at some point Prime Media owned like a certain significant percentage for Kaiser Chiefs.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and then obviously we know that there's Kaiser Chiefs, village there, go that another, where they've got
Obviously, no.
yeah, where they're operating as an academy, but as a business as well. And then she has various, business interests. Local property, he's quite big in property. Big for property. So, he's one of those influential people, and recently he was honored. One of the universities in Cape Town, the UCT.
UCT.
Yeah.
What's the honorary for?
Yeah, for Dr. Kaiser Mtaung for her excellence and contribution, in sports and sports development.
Oh.
Yes.
Was it the one that they aired?
Yeah.
On TV.
Yes, they did.
Okay, yeah.
And then the EFF was there because they were the guys that spoke that guy, should be given his flowers while he's still alive. And then when we talk about Kaiser Mtaung, the Ivan Khoza, I never thought about
the father.
Yeah.
Come on, Ephraim, Tata Ephraim.
Yeah. Obviously we know that Damala Jomosono Lennon and Pirate.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
but I commend Jomo. You know,
yeah.
he's the only soccer player, you know, to leave his wedding to go play.
Hey, that's the passion, dude. Hey,
Yeah, I mean that is just commendable, man.
to leave your wedding and go and play for your team.
Yeah, that's commendable.
But I wonder why they choose that date. It's a bit dramatic. I mean, why would you choose
I guess
your wedding date the same as the date where you're supposed to play?
I mean, I think he had a job to
Can't be a
do.
coincidence.
You think so?
Surely he knew that he was going to play that day.
Anne?
Yeah, I mean, why would you just mess up the dates like that?
Yeah, but yeah, Jomoson is one of South Africa's like
One thing, yeah,
talent scouts out there. Like
absolutely. Penny McCarthy.
yo, like
The
I don't
first time
know.
I knew Penny McCarthy was because of Jomoso.
Yeah, he's manufacturing these players and
Yeah.
all these big teams just come in and just pick and pick and pick and pick.
Truth.
You know? Yeah.
And then even if before Penny McCarthy, like the likes of McFish, Bo, Helman Mkele, I'm not sure if people know that they actually come from him. Yeah, I think including the Philemon Masinga.
Is his club still like playing?
Yeah, Dala, but on the lower leagues. And people are saying that the reason for that is because Jomo multitask. Jomo
Yeah,
can be like a
he's
coach,
a
then the next
chairman, he's a
thing,
coach.
the driver, the next thing, the doctor, everything, you know.
I doubt
He physio.
it. No, you guys are just mocking him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's an
He's an
all
all-rounder.
rounder. Yeah.
Yeah, was a star, dude. And then even that, they had to retire that jersey number 10, go Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
Because of Jomo.
I mean,
like one taller.
I mean that is just. I think it was worth it. I mean,
No, it is. It's one of the best,
It's
soccer players for South Africa.
to give him his praise in that fashion.
He
It's
played for
me.
Cosmos as well, for USA.
Yeah.
The same team that any Pilatala koyon.
Uh,
The same like Kisamtau. So we are proud of those guys, man.
100%, bro.
And how holy because they come from our townships. You know, they are demonstrations that despite of your circumstances, you can make it. It's all in your hands.
Yeah, it is, bro. I mean, life is just a journey that needs you to just pop up, be there, show
Yeah.
up every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
And
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
A lot of young people can take, you know, inspiration from that's what we discussed. And it's really something that I think it's very necessary. You know, it really is necessary for young people to look at these guys and just to take from what they took. Because right now, in terms of football has changed a lot, bro.
no, it
Like,
has.
you know,
It has evolved, man.
it has evolved in a
From being
crazy
a passion
way.
to being like a proper business.
Proper business,
Yeah,
fame,
dude.
you know,
Yeah.
fame drive these boys mad now.
Yeah, no, seriously. Seriously. Yo. Yeah, sorry, man, to disturb you. You were talking your own fame. Yeah.
Fine. No, I'm just saying these boys. Oh, I'm just saying these boys, you know, driven by fame, you know, obviously the funds, the money is just ridiculous right now. I mean, if you'd watched what's that show that we used to play, Sitting with Stan, and you hear stories from there. I mean, he was
with Stanley Chabalala.
yeah, he was also
Yeah,
there.
the Tatukulu.
Yeah, and
May
the
so
way
rest in peace.
yeah, and the way they discuss how things were back then, you know, transfer of players, like
Batsamaya dingaka. Hey.
hey.
Yes, but
I think now they still do, but obviously
still
right
do.
now it's
And some people think this is the reason that killed Cosmos.
why?
Because they were on Dr. Mawini vibes all the damn time. So yeah. Anyway, so dude, we cannot discuss, sports people without discussing the women in sports.
The women in sports.
And one such woman who was like the first, black woman to own a team, right? Because I'm saying black because there was a white person who owned a team, a white, woman, which was Natasha Titlas, who owned Mamphele Sundowns. Then the first black woman to own a team called PSL is Ria Lidwaba. If you remember Ria Stars, she's the owner of that.
Yeah, I do remember that pinkish strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
But Ria, you know,
what?
There's not a lot about her, bro. Like, you know,
Well, she's a businesswoman. She's into artisans, refrigerations, air conditioning. She
Yeah, I
owns a
know.
company that
When
does that.
taking, yeah, she was the first one to
Yeah,
decide.
and she also owns the academy that trains those artisans and technicians, and providing skills for those professions in air conditioning, refrigerations, etc.
Yeah, but she's also a dream killer too.
She's also like a former vice president of SAF.
Yeah, and a dream killer too.
Why a dream killer?
I mean, there's a lot of women that I feel like she never like gave like the full appreciation of what they did in terms of sporting in this country.
Like who?
Like the likes of Posha Modise.
Mm.
Yeah.
What does she do to push him this? When thing?
Umpatla ditaba.
I know that's just a simple question, man. I'm asking, dude. I'm asking because I know that she was one of those women that were very instrumental in the formation of the league, yeah, Basad, and even looking after Banyana Banyana at some point.
But
Mm,
but Banyana Banyana, right? I
mm,
understand. Right now things are starting to change where people are pushing for
mm,
equal pay in terms of women
mm,
and
mm,
and and and, and men's football, right?
mm.
But during that time, she was supposed to protect these ladies.
And I believe that she didn't,
She
protect
didn't
them.
she didn't do her job as she was supposed to. You
Mm,
know,
mm,
she was supposed to protect these ladies, and
mm,
I mean, our female football team is
mm,
probably one of the best more Africa, and we
mm,
proved that
mm,
recently by taking the AFCON, right?
mm.
Yeah, and we've been to the World Cup, which they made history
But
again.
some people might say that across all arts, academia, corporate, sporting codes, women are paid less than women anyway. So we cannot just blame the likes of
True.
Real Eto'o, but something which is systematic, which pretty
No, no,
much
no, 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 no.
affects every
Listen,
sporting
listen.
code.
I'm not saying I can blame. I'm just
Mm,
saying she could have put with her power that she had,
mm,
you know, because she was hence Uche, she was influential in that way,
mm,
and during that time she was the leader, let's just
mm,
say.
mm.
But she should have like kind of like pushed hard so that these girls get what they deserved.
But Real Eto'o has never been, the chairman or the CEO of SAF. SAFA
Yeah.
has always been led by men, Bokistine Matandani, Molifi
Okay.
Oliphant, and
But what
recently
wasn't she sitting?
Denny Jordan.
Mamela, ona.
Those
Oh,
are men. So fair enough, we can talk about her influential position. But then what are we saying now to the likes of Denny Jordan?
wait. What I'm saying is, Johnny Totjan was more involved in men's, okay?
Well, if you are
Yes,
when you
listen.
are the chairman,
Okay,
yeah,
no.
SAFA, and SAFA has a lot of teams that affiliate, including the academics, where SAP League they affiliate with SAFA, including Banyana Banyan. They are an affiliate, yes, sir.
Yeah,
And the people that have been at the helm of SAFA from its inception, it has always been men.
true, but here comes this female,
Mm,
right?
mm.
Who's supposed to protect these ladies? Remember, some of these ladies, I mean, they come from backgrounds that they were not well.
Push them details to go white seat.
Understand?
Mm,
And to hear her story and what this lady could have done, dude. I mean,
mm.
Portia is one of the leading goal scorers in Africa,
Oh, she was
both men and female.
she was amazing.
That alone is just
I think she
history.
has like over 100 goals
Yes,
in her entire career, which is
imagine
like commendable.
in Africa.
Passion.
You understand?
Mm,
So, I mean, Banyana Banyana from back then, dude. I remember when I was still in primary, they came, and it was okay. It was nice because
mm,
obviously,
mm,
I think that time Portia was the only
mm.
famous player that we knew.
Yeah. Now, well, I knew Disraelis, I knew Veronica Pewa.
Yeah,
There were a few of them.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm just exposing my age right now.
You're the big fish. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So understand.
Yeah.
For me, like what I'm saying is, she was supposed to push, you know, for the recognition of these ladies,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. But it was
because
was it her sole responsibility, to prove, in a space whereby there's patriarchy, there's a lot of men that are more
yeah.
influential
But if
than.
you're vocal, then you'll be heard, right?
But no,
My man.
remember, for money, to be invested and to be paid, you need sponsors.
Yeah, but if
She
you're
didn't have
vocal,
she doesn't have, yeah, but you still need to convince the sponsors.
yes, but if you're vocal, I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about SAFA here.
Yeah.
It's a South African Football Association.
Which has never been headed by a woman.
No, I'm not saying it was headed by a woman.
Yeah.
But she was part of it.
Fair enough, you can have, the influence, but you do not own the fiscals. You are not the chairman.
I'm not saying
you don't
you're
have,
not understanding what I'm
you
saying.
don't have a supreme influence on the sponsorships.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
No,
I'm saying she could have fought.
What if she did?
I doubt.
Why?
Hearing Portia's story.
Yeah.
No, I doubt, bro.
So based on an individual,
and it's
story,
not only here.
Mm.
Obviously, there are some that are quiet.
Yeah.
Or who probably never had the platform.
Because I feel like there needs to be.
About it.
I feel like we cannot isolate her alone, and I'm not trying to protect her, but certainly, I know that SAFA has always had a chairman who is a male, and then if there needs to be, people taking accountability and responsibility for whatever that happened, it needs to be a collective, accountability.
But if you're vocal, I feel like if she was vocal about it, go out in public and say, look, guys, I'm trying to fight this, and SAFA is not supporting me in 1, 2, 3, then probably her voice could have been heard. These ladies would have been helped.
Yeah, so by virtue of her being a woman, you felt like she could have been more vocal.
Yes.
To protect the interest of women.
And to protect the interest of women.
Yeah, so you don't think that men who are at the helm, they also have a responsibility to play?
They do, but of course.
Because what I'm guiding against is this thing of blaming women. You know what I mean?
I'm not blaming women.
Especially women in leadership, holding them, responsible and accountable for things like that, when we know very well that they may not be as influential as we think.
No.
Because they are in an environment.
When are you more focused on the influence? No, yeah. I'm saying, had she been vocal about it, Real Double, how many press conferences that she left because she's been asked tough questions?
No, I don't know.
She's left press conferences because she's been asked tough questions that she fails to answer. That, for me, on its own, says that she knows something that was going on, that she knows that she could have not helped, the woman that
but her alone.
I'm not saying her alone. Obviously, she had a team. Yes, you're right. It was a patriarchal environment, right? But if you're vocal enough and you speak about these things in press conferences,
in public,
yes, surely people will look into it.
Awareness,
yes,
and interest, and people will start asking questions.
And
certainly, people have started asking questions about SAFA a long time ago, to an extent whereby people think that the degeneration of our football in South Africa, and especially Bafana is because of SAFA, but that has not changed anything. I mean, Dinitro down to this day, he's still at the helm of SAFA, despite so many interventions, so many stories written about them. Nothing has changed, So I think it will be unfair, according to my respective opinion, for us to just isolate and blame, reality.
I'm not blaming. Stop saying I'm blaming. I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying,
for lack of a better term.
I'm just saying she could have, played a huge role.
But she didn't.
And
especially as a woman who is in leadership.
Especially as a woman trying to help.
So we expected her to know better.
Not to know better, but
to do better.
To do better, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. So shout out to Maria Letwaba, who is the founder of Ria Stars, and then she's from Limpopo. And I think also Shekho, but I don't think she was born there with Shekho. I think she comes from some.
There's not a lot about her that you can find in terms of when you do research.
Yeah, she's a
person. Really, that says a lot.
Okay, and then let's talk about Mamkeys.
Sean Mkeys.
Yeah, the former Sean Mpisani.
Yeah, no, Mamkeys. She's the chairman. Royal AM.
Royal AM. Then AM missing konje.
I have
Andy Lempisani. Yeah.
Yeah. You see.
Kingusia.
I know.
Yeah. But like something about Mamkeys. Exciting, ne? People like Obaka Mamkeys are very negative. And I can't write you because Mamkeys, she's a black woman who has done well, dude.
Yeah, but she has scandals too.
Everyone has a scandal.
Yeah, so I guess maybe people kind of remember that.
But which scandals are there that everyone else doesn't have? That can paint her to so down.
She was involved in a lot of money.
What? I have never heard any scandal come Mamkeys.
Not now.
Obviously, there will be manufacturing, of a certain narrative by news, but Mamkeys has never went to court for any breach for anything or money laundering,
She
whatever.
was
But I know
convicted.
for sure that
And just, I
they had
think you
problems.
remember when we checked her profile, right? You remember, right? I think it was like how much scandal that I think it was 200 million, right?
But then what wasn't like the SARS thing which she eventually
And
settled?
was she convicted? Yeah.
No, dude, we need to be responsible, guys, in this podcast. When you say that she was convicted, you are saying that she was found guilty. And then if you're that confident that she was found guilty, this is a high profile, person. What is it that she was found guilty of? Because as far as I know, the only thing that Mamkize, went through publicly is her, disputes, with SARS, which she eventually
Yes, it was with
settled.
Sarah.
Other than that, I know that she is into construction and whatever, but I'm not sure if she was convicted of anything.
No. What I'm saying is
Because if you're gonna mention the
people.
word convicted, then we need to have facts.
No. I'm saying
Yeah,
people will probably when you say when you speak about her, people dislike her, right? I'm saying, oh,
some
maybe
people,
yes, maybe they're basing that on what they read about her
which is what?
during that South case.
Well, who dude?
Everybody has it, right?
There's a lot of people that have like disputes with
Yeah,
SARS. Yeah,
true. And
yeah.
again, probably the way that she probably
She comes across.
leads, or the way she conducts uh Royal AM, I think was it when she was giving out money, I think on the page.
But isn't that good to promote, football?
Yeah, but it
And
came off like, how people are, bro. Even if
yeah,
you try to do good, you do bad, whatever.
so you think that she shouldn't have done that?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I don't think that she should. I mean,
People,
it's her team. She
mm,
can do whatever she likes. I don't see
absolutely.
anything wrong with that.
Mm.
She can do whatever she
But maybe
likes.
the perception out there,
Yeah, in terms of the professionalism of football, like,
and the manner in which she conducts, the
yeah,
team, and her
probably,
business, perhaps that was not the best thing to do
probably.
at that
Some
time.
people see it that way.
Yeah.
I
I,
have no problem with that.
you know what I think about Mamkis? I think Mamkisi understands, public, perception, and she understands, good or bad publicity. She understands how the business works.
Hmm.
Because I think what she intended to do was just to people to focus on Real AM.
And she wanted to put it out there
And she wanted to put it out there
as
that there
quickly
is
as
a team
possible,
that is
hence
called Real
buying the
AM.
status.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
it makes
So,
sense.
she has good, business acumen. Because now we know about Real AM than we know about other teams for PSL.
No, that makes sense, bro. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So big up to Mamkis.
Big up to everyone who spoke about.
Yeah, certainly. Good, business people, male, female, that have, done it. We spoke
Yeah.
about those ones that were able to succeed during the tough times of apartheid.
Yes.
And recently post 94, those that did well.
Mm-hmm. So, based on what we spoke about and the profiles that we gave about everyone that we spoke about and when a big fish, I have a question that I have to pose to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since we are classified culture podcast and
Mm-hmm.
we mainly are focusing on, the society that we live in
Mm.
within us.
Mm.
My question to you, out of all the people that we've covered, right?
Mm.
Um, what do you think is their impact, Anne, within a society?
Mm. I think there's been a huge, impact that some of them, have, played.
Do you
I
think
mean,
do you
mhm,
think it was a positive impact or
positive impact.
for some a negative impact?
I think for the best of them, it was a positive, impact.
Mm-hmm.
The likes of Godfrey Mloyi, it was a positive, impact. Because a lot of stars, were discovered, through, his tournaments. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the likes of Mamphele Rampere, we know that she's one of the first women, to build, a clinic and bringing back, to her community.
Mm-hmm.
The likes of, Ivan Koza, the likes of Petrus Motsepe. We know Petrus Motsepe through his foundation. He has shared, his family wealth, with a lot of, organizations, you know what I mean, NGOs,
Mm-hmm.
churches, alike. The South African, football, association second, division has been sponsored by the Motsepe family.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot, but obviously from my side, I was expecting a lot of them to actually, play a meaningful contribution because if we compare them, to other, racial groups, business people,
But they are though.
Yeah, I do not
I
think.
think they are, a lot of them are
Yeah.
impacting, society
Mm-hmm.
in a very positive way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the ones that you just mentioned, remember, with these people on, um, they've created jobs,
Mm.
they've bridged their income gap
Mm.
within black societies.
Mm.
I mean, you look at Maponya, it's one of Soweto's economic hub that,
Mm.
it created a lot of employment and
Mm.
still does.
Mm.
And in terms of socially, again, they do fund, organizations. And so you
Mm.
spoke of the foundations,
Mm.
they do have that. So for me, they do play a positive role, and they hugely are impacting our societies. And I like that because without that, then their work would be in vain.
Mm. Mm. No, certainly. I think that they've played a meaning role, but I think that more needs to be done. You know what I mean?
You feel so?
Yeah. Especially in comparison, to other nations, dude. I think.
Why do you, because of the way you're comparing us them
Mm,
to other nations?
absolutely. Not to other nations per se, but to other
Okay,
business
racial
people
groups.
from other racial groups,
Yeah, yeah,
and we can
yeah.
mention them like the Jews, the Africans,
Mm,
community, the
mm,
Indian community. If you look at their schools,
mm,
they organize themselves, as parents, they organize themselves
yeah.
as civil society groups, to sponsor their local schools, to
Mm.
bring resources, to ensure that they've got extramural activities, sports, arts. And I don't think there's a lot of investment, especially with regards to education and institutions that our black business people have invested in. For example, fair enough, you can give churches money, you can, but without building a school which actually has resources which many of the black majority can actually afford, I think you are doing very little in terms of the
But
future
but
of the country.
when you speak about schools, do you want them to build like high class end schools? Obviously, it's gonna require,
Well, we already have those expensive schools which many of us are not able to afford,
exactly. I was
mainly
getting
because of
there.
our
I was getting there.
income, mainly because of our historical background. But I would love to see more and more schools in our townships, you know what I mean, which are being sponsored, which are being created by these business people. And those schools must have artificial intelligence, must have
But
resources
that's a
that can
cost. That's a
that can
cost.
well other day
That's a cost.
that's why we have this podcast, so that we can discuss those facts. These people, I feel like they've done a lot, and we commend them, for what they've done,
Mm-hmm.
what they have achieved. But I feel like there's a lot that they can do within our societies, especially, considering the social issues that we have,
Mm.
within our communities. For example, if I, the world schools, right?
Water school, yeah.
Then you know how funded they are.
Yeah, but
You
because
know the facilities that they have, sporting facilities that they have.
because they
And I
can
think
afford.
and I think that's one of those things why the Springboks are doing well, because of
Because
the
they can
foundation.
afford.
Yeah, and then here we are profiling people that can afford.
Yeah, they can afford, but
Yeah,
the services that, when you say, in terms of educational facilities,
yeah,
and if they make them to be like, as high end as you want them to
mm,
be, right, for the townships, I guess.
yeah.
Do you think that they'll be running on a free basis, or they actually want funding from all the operator? Remember the operating expenses as
I
well,
honestly think that Motsepe can afford a school.
and let people come in and just study for free.
Well, we can talk about that. Yeah, he can.
Really?
Yes, he can.
Okay. Oh no, that's your
He
opinion. That's
can.
your opinion.
A lot of them can, dude, and we must not be apologetic about this, dude. And we're not, putting the pressure
So
and
do you,
on them as business people, right?
okay,
We know that
when Uber comes in, but do you think his foundation is not doing well enough?
probably his foundation is doing well, but then maybe we need to channel the resources where they matter most.
Let me,
And then
can I just,
and the way that we can do that is just to
yeah.
look at the current
Mm-hmm.
situation that we have within our townships,
Mm-hmm.
right? The challenges of unemployment, the challenges of skills,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, the challenges of drugs. Maybe we need to channel those resources into educations, into skills development, into rehabilitation centers. You know what I mean?
Can I just
Into yeah.
read a quote from it's actually like it's like they have this what do you call this?
A manta.
Not a month, man. I forgot the name.
Yeah, no.
But this is a player jar. They have a player jar whereby it's purchase and precious, mainly because of the Motsepe Foundation. I just want to read what they said, and this is just a small quote, and it says, "We recognize the huge responsibility and duty that the Motsepe family has to poor, unemployed, disabled, women, youth, workers, and marginalized South Africans. We also have an ongoing obligation of nation building." Ane? Okay. And then it says, uniting black and white South Africans and contributing towards making Africa and the world a better place. Yeah, that's the end quote.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. It sounds so good, but it's theory. I would like that theory.
What do you say is theory?
It's theory. I would appreciate if that theory is being put in practice. And I'm not taking away, the beautiful things that you've done as the Motsepe Foundation.
That's their pledge,
However,
though.
I feel like, those funds, they can be channeled, in meeting, the current, societal, problems that we have. And I feel like we don't have that. I don't think that, these funds, they need to be channeled, to churches.
So from
I think these funds need to be
Oh, you-
channeled towards education, towards skills, towards empowerment, and they need to be channeled towards rehabilitation centers, because in that way they are parallel with the problems that we face as a community.
But excuse me. Remember, at the end of the day, I mean, they can do what they can only do,
Yeah,
and they cannot actually help the whole of South Africa.
I agree.
And that would be impractical, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's
through the work
unrealistic.
by Yetang, I
Yeah.
feel that they're doing a lot, man, socially so, and in a positive way, through the foundation, through the family, because here they speak about the Motsepe family, right? So for me, when you say Motsepe, yes, can do, he's doing a lot already.
Yeah, I feel like, if you're going to measure the impact of someone, there needs to be a change.
He's changed a lot of lives.
Their investments, they need to
So you're saying they haven't changed a lot of lives? Is that what you're saying?
Wait for me to finish my point. There needs to be a change in the society of which they invest their resources in. At the moment, what I said is that we are still experiencing, high, unemployment, and I'm not putting the responsibility.
I know. It feels like you are.
Yeah, okay.
It feels like you
Let
are.
me just finish my point. I know that it's not the Motsepe Foundation, responsibility of or any of the people that we have profiled.
Yeah.
It is the responsibility of a government,
Yes.
right?
Now you speak.
But my honest opinions, is that the government as well as corporate South Africa are not doing enough. Because if you look at facts, South Africa is one of those countries that have the high unemployment rate.
True.
And then we know that South Africa, in terms of development, in terms of infrastructure, is way up there, even more than the countries that have lower unemployment rate, especially in the youth. If you have the youth, the economically active populations, unemployed, people that have skills, people that are educated,
Yeah.
it's a time ticking bomb. And then why are we profiling these people? We are profiling them firstly because they are black people. They understand our struggles.
Yeah.
They have been there. They come from our communities, and then we are comparing them with other business people, their counterparts, from other racial groups, and then we are
which is
saying
the
that
minority.
they have done.
Which is a minority.
They have invested in the communities. They have investments, in their local schools.
Which is a minority. Which holds the
whether
the
or
world
not
in South Africa.
whether or not they are a minority, we acknowledge.
But we need to look at that as a fact
certainly.
as well.
Hence the background that we gave when we were doing the introduction.
Exactly.
We spoke about the harsh realities of apartheid, the background that we come from. But then now we are saying that is their responsibility that these people they can play within our societies, and I believe that yes, they are playing a role, but is it making a meaningful contribution and it is changing the status of black people in
Yes.
contributing meaningfully to the
Yes.
economy? And then my answer is no.
For me, it's yes,
Yeah.
bro.
For me, it's definite no.
It's a
Because
yes.
if it were a yes for me, I think Soweto is one of the largest populated area, and I do not know of any school which has resources, which has IA, fourth industrial revolution, which is being sponsored or built by any of those people that we've discussed. And for me, if we believe that skills and education is the foundations for people to meaningfully contribute into the society, and we don't have that, we are having a problem. Fair enough.
So
you can
according to you, you feel like they're not investing as much as they should into the township that they grew up in, or into the black community as a whole.
I think that they're not doing enough. I think there's more that they can do
Do you think
within
they're not
their
investing
societies.
enough?
I think the investment is not enough. And for the fact that a township like Soweto, a township like Soshanguve, a township like Alexander does not have, Zanalembek is from Alexander, even because I was born, go Alexander. And the other guys that we have discussed, Bo Heben Mashaba, they come from Pretoria, Bo Atwishville, Bo Haranku. When we speak about the only person that we've discussed who built something was Mamphele Rampela through the clinic that she built. But I do not see any school.
Which is not a
Let's
job.
let's forget about school. I do not have any academy, any sports academy, infrastructure, sports infrastructure, right? There's next stadium, which is being built and sponsored by Nike. But what about the responsibility? And I'm not putting all the responsibility on them, because obviously we do have the government. I think that they've done well, and I think that they've done a lot, but I think that they haven't done enough.
Nah,
That's what I'm
because-
saying. What I mean, especially when I compare them with their counterparts, and I do note that there is a history behind that. But we must stop this thing of being the first black. The first black, to do this. I think as black people, we need to develop ourselves from the ground, and we need to go, to get. If you are successful, take other people with you. That's what other people.
When it's just that
do.
you want to see the changes that you feel, or of course it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen that way. But they do impact a lot of lives. They've changed a lot of families' lives. They've bridged the income gap. And unfortunately, it's not their job or the thing. It's just they try to do what they can with what they have. So for you to speak about having the AI schools, and it would cost a lot, and in order for that to maintain that as well, you need people who are skilled enough to maintain those type of schools, right? You need the resources. You probably would need also even foreign interventions onto it.
Mm.
And remember, in our townships, we are faced with a lot of social plagues, right?
Mm.
There's crime, there's drugs, there's poverty, right? There's social injustice,
Mm.
So when you look at all those things, they cannot combat that all on its own. Understand?
Obviously, the government needs to play their role, but for the purpose
You could
of
say then,
yeah,
if I were to agree with you, right? You would say if they worked hand in hand with our government, then probably then I would agree with what you say.
yeah. Well, certainly, I feel like the government has a role to play, right? Fair enough. And then I think that it is up to the society as well to produce leadership at local level, provincial level, national level. Fair enough.
Besides,
But then I feel like, and I want to emphasize these facts. These are people that have managed to triumph, against adversity, right? And we respect them. They've achieved. They motivate us. They inspire us.
yes,
And we know we know black, empowerment. We know black excellence. Through them. But I feel like when I compare them to their counterparts, there is a responsibility that they need to play. Obviously, I'm not centering everything on them. Obviously, we know that we elect a government, we are a democracy, and then the government has a role to play. They collect
Exactly.
money from SARS, etc. But then in comparison, to other groups, and majority of these business people, they have actually been successful because of BEE, which were like political influenced policies, which were empowering black people. So it's only fair for them to meaningfully give back to the community, so that we can all succeed. Otherwise,
Yeah,
if
but
the government and these business people are not going to channel their funds, to improve their communities, then we constantly going to talk about crime. We're constantly going to talk about unemployment until someone raise their hands, until someone says that here's my resources, I'm going to build. I mean, imagine how large, how big Soweto is, and to think that the only private schools that we have are foreign, owned, and are not owned by any of the people that we've talking about here, except Susan Ngasano, who owned an expensive private school.
Yeah, but
For me,
then,
it's
but
like,
then, but then at the end of the day, let's not forget that there's white privilege as well.
yeah,
Yeah, let's not forget that, and let's not forget that we as the people, we as Black people, we still in a recovery mode. I mean, this is 30 years of democracy, right? Granted,
mm,
but yet you see that there's still a lot to recover.
mm,
And yet still, some of the things we're still failing, right? Not only because of, that's why I said to you, we are the majority,
mm.
and we cannot say we can counter or try to find solutions to every problem that we are facing in
But
townships.
surely we can build one school. Not,
Fair
not.
enough,
I mean,
but when you speak about AI,
considering,
it's something else.
considering, well, when I mean AI, right, I mean that we not operate in isolation. We are part of a broader, global environment,
Yes,
which is
hence I said
constantly
it would
changing.
need
Technology changes, technology advances.
foreign investment as well
Yeah.
in terms of skill development, innovations,
Mm.
and to stay abreast with what's currently
Dude,
happening.
we South Africa was able to build, soccer stadium and improve them, like, for 2010, right? Because all the resources, of the country, obviously people might argue that there was a return of investment because of
Yeah, but
tourism,
then
because of
yes,
many people
exactly. I
coming to
was
South
about to
Africa.
say that.
However, I think that, imagine, dude, I'm not even talking about Alexander, which is way smaller than Soweto. I'm not even talking about Soshanguve. Um, but I'm talking about a Soweto, dude. The private schools that we have in Soweto, we've got, those schools go Proteatland,
Yeah,
Euro,
Kuro.
Spark, you know what I
Mm,
mean? Not owned by any of the people. No investment whatsoever by
mm.
any of the people that are coming from our communities. Even if they cannot afford them, at least,
At least one.
sponsorships, dude. I'm tired of seeing those schools, outside, our townships, sponsored by this company, sponsored by this corporation, sponsored by this
Why
parent,
why
and
why
whatever.
can't we
But
put
within
why can't
our,
we my man, why can't we put an obligation and responsibility on corporations as well? Like, banks, you know? Why can't you
as
put
as
that
as as
on that as well? I mean,
mm,
they charge ridiculous interest rates when it comes to people, Black people, right?
mm,
Uh, when you take a loan, I mean, it's crazy.
yeah.
Interest rates that you pay.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So why can't you talk about them and stop attacking people? They are
No, no, no,
trying.
no, 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 no.
They're
The
trying.
word attacking is extreme. I said
Okay.
that,
The
yes.
way that Ubuankabona, I
Yeah.
feel like it's anyway. Fuck that, man. For me, it feels like an attack. Because you totally disagreeing with what they're doing in
No.
terms of impacting and putting a positive role
I
in
thought I
society.
said that there is a gap. I said that in comparison to
The gap
their
will always
that is
be
the
there,
gap,
and it always be huge.
and in comparison with their counterparts, right? I don't think that they are doing enough.
I,
And that's where I'm sticking to. And then I make an example that, imagine a huge township like Soweto, which has produced a lot of billionaires. The president of the country comes from Soweto. The first black billionaire of the country, he's from Soweto.
what do you want
You
me?
know what I
What?
mean?
Okay,
So for Soweto to be still underdeveloped in terms of sports facilities, education facilities, not even a single school, dude, not even a single school. Go Shawela, Mapetla, Pir, not even a single school, and only proper resources, which you can compare them to those private schools.
nah, you
Go Soweto,
can't.
dude.
You can't.
Surely we need to agree that there is a problem.
Nah, man, you cannot actually say it's a problem. It's just we are recovering, as I'm saying.
But we otherwise we will stay in the recovery mode forever.
It's always gonna be like that.
At some point,
As
yeah.
soon as we haven't dealt with the issue of, that there's what privilege, and they're the minority, and we still like a majority that still needs to recover, and that we need to understand that, as well as the way that look at Soweto, we clustered first of all, we live like, I mean, there's
Clustered
that,
environments, land.
so those type of problems really need to be dealt with,
And the people that can deal with that is the government, and for them to deal
hence
with
I
them.
said I would agree with you if corporations and the people that we've profiled can say we're working hand to hand with the government, and then probably that's where you'd see that, okay, this change that we're battling is so.
Most of them, they were able to be millionaires and billionaires because of the government, because of the political policies that were passed, like affirmative actions,
Yeah,
like
as
black
much as
economic,
you speak about
like black,
the counterparts,
like the black economic
whites and what
empowerment,
they got it from government, right?
except that they are giving back to the communities and we don't.
Which communities are they giving back to?
Their have you
Yeah, because
they are schools.
it's a minority.
They are schools.
It's a minority, big fish.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying that we need to learn something, even if they are minority. Surely, dude, we need to empower ourselves.
Look right now. Look
Yeah.
right now. Look at the townships right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shopping centers that are being built.
Yeah.
A lot of complexes that are being built. For business. You understand? So why can't we go and ask corporations like or retailers that are busy building these franchises in our townships? Oh, what are they doing when to uplift? You understand? At the end of the day, they're targeting who? People from the townships, right?
Yeah.
Do you get my point?
Yeah, but then for the purpose of what we were discussing today, you know what I mean, and the fear of diverting, we're talking about black business people and entrepreneurs, and whether or not they've got a role to play in our societies, and whether they can play, a role, especially considering the social ills that we have at the moment. Maybe some other time we can speak about corporate and how they are not involved in developing South Africa. But at the moment, we're speaking about the black business entrepreneurs.
We can say that, but also they're trading in the townships. They make money from the townships.
Yeah.
Most of the revenues is from the townships.
Yeah. Well, they get revenues elsewhere. But
they do get most of the revenues from townships.
Maybe sometime we can discuss the corporate environment, or whether or not they do invest into our communities, or they are selective in terms of where their investments go to. Right? Maybe it's subject to discussion at a later stage. But for the purpose of today's topic, we were profiling the black business people who come from the townships, who understand our struggles.
Yeah, but we cannot be like clustered or just limited to say, okay, yes, because right now we're talking about social impact, right? Anyway, it's fine. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So
I wanna now pose on the last question that I think, based on whatever that you were saying, maybe what you're gonna say is just gonna put it out there. The thing, it's gonna be your answer to this question because you've been the one imposing. Okay. My last question to you, Big Fish, is what are the solutions that need to be implemented by the youth, and do the youth have a role about or do they like kind of like know about these people and where to get such information so as to say, okay, here we are, these are the solutions that we think you could do to help us as young people in the townships and to develop what you've just been saying?
First of all, I think that some of the people that were profiled today, the youth doesn't know about them, but we cannot blame the youth.
Of course, we've educated right now.
We can blame our education.
We've educated.
We can blame our education, system, which comes from the Bantu, education, system, But obviously, we are, improving because we cannot blame the youth. But I feel like the youth, they've got a responsibility to play and be active, youth, which plays, a meaningful, contribution, especially to the political and social, issues, of the day. We must not be the youth which is only found on nightclubs, dancing. Fair enough, we can dance well, and we have seen with Mapiano, which are a good export for us in terms of entertainment. But in terms of political and social issues, I think the youth also, they've got a responsibility to produce, leaderships, to be educated, to have skills, and to play meaningful, contributions
Mm.
and be active, in the political and social issues, of the day. So we cannot outsource everything to these people that we have profiled today, and certainly we cannot outsource everything to the government, even though the government has a role to play because they are being voted for, by us. So to answer your question, I think the solution is let's organize ourselves. Let's form strategic partnerships between business people, between schools, between the government, and between our communities, whereby leadership is being encouraged, whereby leadership is being noticed at a very very novice stages, whereby we build schools that have resources, schools that compete with the best, so that we produce people that have got skills,
Mm.
so that we produce people that can contribute to our GDP, so that we can develop, people that may otherwise not afford, to go, to a certain university because of funds.
Mm.
And I think that requires partnership. It is not something that can be outsourced. I mean, for Soweto, being huge as it is, not to have. I mean, like we were speaking of camera about how expensive these private schools are, and then most of the parents. You cannot blame parents to want their child to have access to the best education. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because we understand our backgrounds and we know that when we go there for university, what's going on, you find that a child also from the government schools can't even operate a computer, dude. Until
That's sad.
cannot even program, doesn't have those backgrounds, but already on a disadvantage compared to those students that are privileged. So but then if we've got a partnership that is going to develop children at the foundational phase within the communities, especially those that are not privileged,
Mm.
those that are poor,
Mm.
those that are underdeveloped, I think we can be up to something, dude. And I think that's what needs to happen. And I don't put all the responsibility to those business people. Yes, government has a role to play because they are the ones that take our monies, via SARS,
Mm.
and they are the ones that are going to allocate funds, to different, department, in order for them, roads, and whatever. But I feel like lot has to be done, especially within our communities. We've got an issue of drugs, we've got an issue of unemployment, we've got an issue of hopelessness.
Mm.
We've got issues, of poverty, underdevelopment. We've got an issue whereby most of our children, we send them to private schools that we don't even afford.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And the majority that are remaining with public schools, we know what happens to them when they reach higher learning institutions. And certainly we know what happens to them when they reach the employment sector.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much, Big Fish. I think people had heard, it's a matter of we just here to, you know, just give clarity and we here to inform basically. And I think from what we spoke about was very interesting, and I'm sure the people watching right now will sort of like ask themselves questions,
Certainly.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, if you don't, then that means you don't want to be part of the solution.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
we want to hear from them, dude.
yeah, most definitely. Though, guys, you're more than welcome
Yeah.
to share and expand on this topic,
Yeah.
and it's just us putting it out there because that's what we're all about. That's what classified culture is all
And we
about.
might not have all the facts. That's why we depend on you to critically engage, with us, and let's all find solutions to the problems that we face.
Yeah. Um. Thank you for tuning in. Second episode. It was nice being with you and with my co-host as well.
Yeah,
My host, do I get a
um,
co-host? My
and then
host.
remember, as we always say, if you don't follow us, guys, gotta show this. We need all of
Subscribe.
you to subscribe and to follow us
Hit that
on
like
all.
button.
Yep.
Hit that notification button.
Yeah.
Follow us on all our socials.
Yeah.
It's Classified Culture Podcast, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Classified. A lot of people getting it wrong, Big Fish. I think
Classified Culture Podcast.
yeah, a lot of people look like
What's it?
nah, it's classified, guys.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
simple as
because
that.
there's a lot of classified out there.
Nah, but ours is Classified Culture
Yeah.
Podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, please, guys, continue subscribing,
Yeah.
continue watching. You're more than welcome to share your views and opinions. We welcome everybody. Remember, we're doing this for Kasi.
Absolutely.
yeah, we wanna, grow,
Yeah,
and by growing, we need your input as well.
absolutely.
Thank you to the team. Thank you to Sai. Thank you to Signy.
Yeah,
Big shout out and thank you so much. I think
yeah.
we've wrapped everything
Now
up.
we've read but from the rest of the crew, guys. It's a wrap. Thanks very much for joining us.
Second episode.
Yeah.
Will be dropping soon.
Yep.
Watch out. You can check us on Facebook. That's where we will drop,
Yeah. We are also
all
on
the
TikTok. We are
info.
on Twitter. So people, please, you are welcome. To I love it when people engage, and I love it
Yeah,
when
me
people,
too. Me too.
disagree,
Yeah.
with our take, because that means that we're moving somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a platform for all of us, a platform for you guys, from all
Um,
of us, guys.
peace, love, everything, guys.
Sharp, sharp.
Wiz.